Colin and welcome to How to Paint Watercolours. So if you're ready, we'll get started and we'll paint this one. Hello YouTubers and welcome back to my channel, How to Paint Watercolours with me, Colin. This is another Shades of Winter, so this is Shades of Winter number 3, and I've just stretched my paper, which means wetting it both sides and allowing it to stretch. And I'm now just running a damp brush underneath just to remove any excess water. Just stops any runbacks occurring. Bit of a kitchen towel. Just drying off the mounting area to keep that reasonably clean. Throw some Naples yellow in, following the shape of the mountain. Touch of freshwater blue with some burnt sienna in it and just a tiny bit of Naples yellow. Bring it into the bottom part here. Just want to leave a light patch where this tree is. Naples yellow, pearl orange or pyrrole orange. If you haven't got that, you can use cadmium orange, doesn't really matter. Naples yellow and Turner red, just for a bit of pink. Strengthening it up, just where I think it might need it. Softening the edges in. Naples yellow and the pyrrole orange again. Softening the edges with a damp brush once again. Hopefully you can see the colours now. Forgot to bring it in. A couple of streaks in. Going to re-wet the bottom just to keep it wet and stretched. And then we're going to allow this not quite to dry out, but till the shine has gone off the paper. Then we can add the mountains and background trees in. Now that the sky's nearly dry, although the paper is still quite damp, I'm just going to bring some clean water into the mountain area, down to the shoreline. This is a colour called freshwater blue. Just following the mountain slopes. Freshwater blue, burnt sienna with a touch of Naples yellow in it, just to bring some grey. Just a little touch of the pearl orange and some pink, Naples yellow and Turner red. Take a damp brush and just soften it together. And then we're just going to let that dry. Okay, now that that's dry, I'm just going to run some water into these background mountainous hills, just a line really, and I'm going to put some background evergreens in, but I don't want them to spread too far down because we're going to put 2 lines in, and it will just make these mountains more interesting. This is freshwater blue with some Naples yellow and burnt sienna in it, and if you just start with your brush above the waterline and just gently pull it in to the water, you can see that it hits the water but leaves an indication of where the tree is without it diffusing too far. And you can mix the colours up a little bit, drop some of the sky colour in, some of the blue, freshwater blue on its own. Strengthening it up in some areas where you think it might possibly need it. Taking a little paint off as we come down to the next set of trees here in the foreground, I want them to pale off slightly. Just a little bit of the pink, Naples yellow and Turner red. Just add some variation, softening some in. Softening off the bottoms. Some clean water once again. I'm just going to put some shadow in on this left hand side bank, but I want some of the white to show through. So where these gullies are, I'm just re-wetting what would be the inside of the gully, just to add some shadow. Taking some of the freshwater blue, I'm just going to start where the pencil line is on my drawing and just add a little of it. And just pulling it back slightly. This will help to fade it and soften it in. Remember to leave some white patches. Taking some of your grey mixture, add that in as well. This is the Naples yellow, freshwater blue, and just a pinch of burnt sienna. Take a damp brush and just soften that. I'm just dipping into some clean water when you see the brush disappear, and take the excess off with my finger. And I just want to add some of the orange colour, the pearl orange and Naples yellow into this, just along the top here, just to indicate that some of the sky is involved, and maybe just a little bit of the pink. Once again, a damp brush, soften that very, very pale. Adding a little bit more of the freshwater blue. Remember, this will fade and pale off and go lighter. Needs to be a little stronger, I think. And then we need this to dry. Now that that tree line is relatively dry, we can run some water along the bottom edge of where the mountain meets the water. It could even be ice at this stage. So run up a second line of trees. But as I want these to come just a little forward, I'll make them stronger. Once again, I'm going to use some of the freshwater blue along with the freshwater blue and burnt sienna with a touch of Naples yellow, just varying the length, adding some into the freshwater blue here. Once again, dropping some of the sky colours in. Just mopping up any excess water that may have collected at the bottom. Then right along the bottom, I just want to drop in some Mars violet, just to create a shoreline and some bushes. Touch of French ultramarine and burnt umber with a touch of Mars violet added into it, just to create a little bit of darker colour. So just a tiny bit of variation. This all adds interest. And then we're going to leave that to dry. Then taking some Mars violets and a rigger brush, we're going to put these middle ground, sort of foreground bushes in. French ultramarine and burnt umber with a little Turner red into it, just making it a slightly different colour. And I'm breaking over my goat hair mop brush, making sure it's really relatively dry. And I'm just tapping this. I brought some paint up and I'm just tapping it into it on the side. And I just want to add, that's a little bit too much, a slight dusting of winter foliage. Now I have to leave those background bushes to dry. And taking some of your French ultramarine burnt umber with some Turner red. If you haven't got red, cadmium red will do, cadmium red light deep. It's just a red, it just adds a different colour to it, that's all. We'll come to this tree here. That's some French ultramarine and burnt umber. The right colour. Then just add some French ultramarine and burnt umber just for some darks. Just put it on one side of the tree and let it slowly creep. Back to your French ultramarine, burnt umber and Turner red. Come to this little gnarly tree here. Again, some French ultramarine and burnt umber. Just take a damp brush and just soften in the bottom of the roots. This really does help to attach them to the ground. That one's a little wet at the moment, so I'll have to leave that. I think what we'll do is we'll just add just a tiny bit of water under these. Some of the Mars violet. Just soften the bottom of this off. I'm just going to turn the board round and just allow the other one to dry a little bit before we soften off the roots into the snow. Then continuing with the French ultramarine, burnt umber and Turner red, we can begin to put some branches on. So you may find it easier to turn your board round. Just keep continuing to add your branches. Just turning it round one more time just to reach the others. Just adding some of the burnt umber and French ultramarine in some of these branches just to bring some out darker than the others. Hardly noticeable on the painting, but nevertheless just adds a little bit more to it. Turn it back round, let me have a check. Taking a damp brush and just soften off the roots again. Then I'm going to leave that to dry. Just before we allow this to dry, I'm just going to run some water along the bottom edge of this landmass here. Taking the same colour as a tree, just going to drop this in just to help create a nice shoreline. French ultramarine burnt umber with a touch of Turner red. rig a brush into it. I'm just going to pull some grasses out here, very faint. And into that, I just want to drop some of the French ultramarine and burnt umber, just for some real dark. And now I'm going to leave that to dry. Okay, now that everything's dry, we're just going to re-wet the water area. Carefully going round the rock. I'll leave a link in the description box for the link to where you can get the Turner's Artist Quality paints from, should you wish to have a look at them. They really are affordable and I love them to bits. I really love them. Naples yellow. Let's move to a bigger brush. Naples yellow and pearl orange. Naples yellow and Turner red. I'll drop a little bit of the freshwater blue in. All horizontal strokes. Just strengthening it up in some areas. Stronger with the Naples yellow here, I think. Maybe just a little in here as well. Now I'm going to let this sit a while, just while it sinks into the paper, then we can put the reflections in. So I'm going to have to wait about 5 minutes for this to dry. As you can see, the shine's just going off the paper, so I'm back to my freshwater blue and burnt sienna with some Naples yellow in it, but just a tiny bit, just to grey it down. And we'll just put a line of trees in, just mimicking the shoreline. Once again, just dropping a bit of pink in it. Just a little touch of Mars violet along the bottom. And just dropping at the bottom just for a little bit more. Burnt umber, French ultramarine with a touch of Turner red in it. Just running a little water here, it's dried out just a little bit too far. Touch of the Mars violet again. French ultramarine and burnt umber, just with a touch of Turner red. Some Mars violet, burnt umber and French ultramarine, just for this rock. Touch of blue. And with a very weak wash, I'm just going to bring the shadow in from here, from this tree, from this one. Softening off the edges. Just softening the edge of the reflections in. I'm going to leave that to dry. Okay, it's all dry now. There's just a couple more things to do. I just want to break up the reflections with a craft knife and ruler and just put some wind streaks in. This helps to give a little bit of movement in the water. or ice if you like, it could even be frozen this. And taking a rigger brush once again, and just with some French ultramarine and burnt umber, we could just put in a few blades of grass or reeds that are growing out from the shallows. Just a little bit of a reflection. Just a couple more things to do. I'm just going to put 3 birds in the sky. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please click the like button and consider subscribing. Subscribing costs you nothing, and I'll leave a couple of suggestions at the end of the video should you wish to view some more, and I'll also leave a link in the description box, and if you click on that it will take you straight to the other videos I made for YouTube. And also I will leave a link in the description box should you wish to go and have a look at the Turner Artist Quality paints I've been using for this video. So once again, thank you very much for watching.